touchscreen, of course. There's a variety of different apps you can choose from. You can choose the music app, the navigation map, which is just a Google map. There's also the calendar. If you sync up your phone, you'll know show up your to-do list. There's also a built-in web browser that you can go online right here.
Of course, it all shuts off when we start driving.
Well, actually, you have still fully accessible. Even when you're moving.
Oh.
Yeah. So we leave, the usage of this to your best judgment. So of course, the steering mode. You can adjust the steering weight. So if you're more used to driving a sports car, you can leave in sports. So if you want to have a lighter steering, you can set it to comfort.
And does it also put a stiffer? It stiffens the suspension a bit.
So no, that's only for the steering weight.
Okay.
Yeah, the suspension is actually fixed. In terms of damping. We do have an optional air suspension that can let you adjust the height, but the damping are still fixed. So we want to leave in sport.
Sure.
Okay. And you say you drive a manual. So let's turn the creep off then. So the creep mode is to simulate the automatic transmission.
Okay.
So when the car is in drive, it will slowly move forward.
Okay.
But since you drive a manual, I like to have the creep mode off because it's more like a manual car.
Okay.
If you don't have any throttle input, the car will just stay there.
Okay.
Okay. So the last will be the regenerative braking. So we will start off with low. I'll turn it on to standard. After you get to use the car. So the regenerative braking is kind of like engine braking. So when you let off the throttle, the car's going to slow down quite rapidly.
Okay.
All right. So let's head out by putting the car into reverse. Push up on the gear selector all the way. Now you're ready to go.
And the brake?
The brake is already disengaged, so you just need to give it a little throttle.
So much response. How do I adjust the mirrors?
So the mirror is on the side, just like any other car.
So I just push left for the left mirror?
Yep.
There we go.
Yay, reading lights. Yay, reading lights.
Hey, reading lights.
And go a little bit more.
Yeah.
Great. So we can head out that exit.
It's very smooth.
Yeah, it is.
So let's exit out this side.
Turn left.
So let's make a right here. So driving an electric car is very quiet, so we do have to pay a little extra attention when we're around pedestrians. Because the pedestrian will definitely not hear you coming. Okay, so we're gonna go straight until we hit Birch, and we'll make a right on Birch.
Alright. Man, it's almost painful, the silence. It's like...
That's another indication of how efficient your electric drive is.
Yeah.
All the noise that you hear from the internal combustion engine.
So used to all the noise.
Or just, extra wasted energy. So we'll make it right here at Birch. So, internal combustion engine is only about a third efficient, which means that you can only convert about a third of energy content from the gas tank, into forward motion. In the electric motor, we'll make it left there at the State College. In the electric drivetrain, it can convert 85% of the energy, into forward motion. So there's no excess heat or noise, coming from the electric drivetrain.
And does the braking system also partly go back and convert energy back into the engine, the motor?
So, we can go now. Make a left. So the regenerative braking, essentially is, happening when you want to slow down the car. We'll turn our electric motor into an electric generator. So it will not only help you slow down, it will recharge your battery at the same time. So you get more range, if you have the regenerative braking. And because you're not using your friction brake all that much, your brake pad will also last a lot longer.
Yeah. And the motor probably engine brakes much better than a gas motor.
So the engine braking or the regenerative braking in our case is so strong. You realize, after I turn it on.
Keep going straight?
Yes, we'll keep going straight. You don't have to use your friction brake all that much.
Yeah. Yeah, it's automatic braking too, because there's a car in front of me, right?
Actually, no. So it's just the regenerative braking are strong, and if you don't want the car to slow down that much, you actually have to hold the throttle down a little bit. So this also enable our owners to do something called a one pedal drive. So that means you can only use, you can use actually just one pedal to control the speed of the car. You don't have to go back and forth between brakes and gas.
Except on the hill.
So, you actually have the auto hold function. So right now you see that little H on the instrument cluster.
The little H?
Right there, on the right hand corner. That means the car will hold itself in place.
Really?
You can actually let go of the brake. So to activate that, you just have to jab on the brake pedal, a little bit harder when you come to a stop.
Okay, and then it'll just hold it.
Solar panel efficiency, doesn't really warrant it, to be
for accessories
installed on the car just yet. The extra weight, will come with the penalty to the range of the car. And simply, it just doesn't make enough power. So, there's a Fisker company who makes a car model, and they used to have a solar panel roof option. But the only thing that solar roof can power is just the fan, inside the car. Can't really do much with the limited power.
What's the maintenance like?
For the electric car?
Yeah.
It's very simple. There's only two fluid that needs to be changed. Brake fluid every 2 years, and the coolant for the battery and the motor every 4 years.
Every 4 years.
So let's make a left here at Brea Boulevard. We still, have a recommended annual checkup. So we still like you to bring the car in to our service center at least once a year, just to make sure that everything is okay.
So just park it in the parking structure for the service?
So, the parking.
How does that work?
Well, we do have the service centers,
okay,
all around the country.
Okay.
So, the closest one to here is in Buena Park. There's also a location in Costa Mesa, Burbank, Van Nuys, Torrance. So there's quite a few of the different locations you can bring the car to get service.
Is there one near Redlands, California?
Not yet. I think the closest one to Redland will probably be perhaps Palm Springs.
Okay. So does this car have autopilot?
All of our car has the ability to have the autopilot system, upgraded. And this car does have the autopilot enabled.
Really? How do we turn that on?
So, the autopilot is really meant, for use on the highway only.
Okay.
And, today we're going to be skipping that portion.
Okay.
We can, when you, make a left on here, we can try it.
Okay, for a few seconds.
Using, turning on the autopilot by pulling twice on the cruise control stop.
Pulling twice on this?
The lower one, the short one.
Oh, okay. And that brakes automatically and accelerates automatically and steers automatically.
Yes. However, because the system will not recognize the stoplights.
Yeah.
Also, there's a lot of brakes in the lane markings and at the intersections, so you still want to be ready to take over, at a moment's notice.
Is there a way to program stoplights in?
I'm sure there will be a way to program that in the future. But we're still working on the system, so it's still in the beta stage.
Yeah. Do you have screen protectors for this?
I think there are a company who makes them.
Okay.
You know, but just like any touchscreen screen, these are hardened glass.
Uh-huh.
So in normal use, you shouldn't have to worry about
Yeah.
getting a scratch.
Something fell on it or something.
So now, pull twice, you see both of the lights turn on. We still recommend you to leave your
Okay.
hands on the steering wheel and be ready to take over at a moment's notice. So because of the adjacent line, lane marking is recognized here, you can actually shift to the right lane by turning on the right signal.
And it waits when it's safe?
It will detect any obstacle around you, but it will not detect any long object, long distance approaching vehicle. So you can turn it off,
Yeah.
only do it once.
Okay. I thought it was going to do it on
Yep. So it works.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I believe that worked. I just wanted to experience it. Of course, also.
So of course, this is not a perfect system. If you don't have clear lane markings or if the sun is directly in front of you, most people's life because on the long distance drive, it will reduce your workload, so you don't get as fatigued when you get to your destination.
How does it react if the traction, if you suddenly lose traction on the road?
So we do have a stability control,
Mhm.
which is activated all the time, and it will try to retain traction by clamping down on individual wheels, or braking individual wheels.
And it's programmed to follow the speed limit based on the GPS coordinates?
So the camera actually recognize the speed limit.
Oh, the sign.
Yeah,
Okay.
So it will actually give you a speed limit on the instrument cluster right there.
Okay.
So you no longer have excuse of not knowing the speed limit.
That's a good thing.
So let's move over to the left lane if we get the chance.
Yeah.
We're gonna make a left on Birch.
Does it have a rear-facing camera as well when we're driving, or?
You can turn it on anytime you want.
Okay.
Easily up the pass.
I think that's pretty awesome. What sort of maintenance do the cameras require?
Maintenance? There's no maintenance for this kind of parts.
Okay, so no lens cleaning or.
Well, I mean, when you wash a car, you probably
just-
want
it
to
washes
just
it? Okay.
wash it off. I'm sure there's going to be dirt or crud that's going to collect on the lens. So let's make a left here at Birch. We'll head back to the mall.
PJ, can I borrow your phone real quick?
When we get back.
Okay.
It's in my pocket.
Oh, I see.
So, what do you think?
I love it.
This is really, to give you a preview of what's to come.
And you guys take trade-ins?
We absolutely do take trade-ins. However, since we don't sell other manufacturers' vehicle, we just hire a third-party company to come and basically bid for your car.
Okay. You hire them to bid the car?
We
Or you invite
usually take down the information of your car.
Okay.
We'll send it out to different
Dealerships.
wholesalers,
Okay.
and then they will essentially bid for your car.
Do you have contractors who install charging stations in home?
So we do have an electrician that we can recommend to you, and you only need a 240 volt outlet, to charge this car.
Same as a washing machine, correct?
It's quite similar. So some of the older, washing machine may
Take a
have
lot
the
more.
30 amp, circuit, and the car really wants a 40 amp circuit.
Is it bad for the batteries to not let them drain fully before it's another
No,
charge?
not really. It's absolutely okay to charge your car every day. So, it's just that on a daily basis, we recommend you to charge your battery only to 90%.
Okay. Huh.
So
Instead
there's a
of 100.
limiter that you can set on our battery charge.
Okay.
So it will stop,
Yeah.
right at 90%. But it's still okay to occasionally charge it to 100%. If you want to take a long distance trip, you can set it to 100% the night before.
Mm-hmm. How much mileage decrease is there for running the air conditioning during the summer?
So the air conditioning, does use a little bit of energy,
Mm-hmm.
but the impact on the range, it's not quite severe as compared to the actual speed that you're driving. The faster you go, the more air resistant you have to overcome the next light. And you're gonna have more impacted range, if you drive faster.
Mm-hmm.
Let's make it right here. Yeah, the battery actually prefer a warmer temperature too. So in the hot climate,
Interesting.
we're gonna make a left here. And we're gonna go all around the parking
Structure.
lot before we get back into
Okay.
the garage. Yeah, so the battery does like the warmer temperature. So it's gonna have a slightly less internal resistance in the higher temperature. So it's also gonna have a better efficiency. And that's why you don't lose as much range, even in the hot temperature.
Oh wait.
In
So
here?
one more.
One more. Okay. Pulling right up to the spot. What did it take to get a private parking spot for Tesla?
Well, we talked to the mall,
Uh-huh.
so we request, let's pull back into that same spot.
Oh.
Alright, so just hit the silver button at the tip.
Puts in park.
One more time. There.
Okay.
Now you're in park. That's it.
Perfect.
Alright.
And the brake, there's no brake or anything?
So when you hit that park,
Automatic brake.
it will set the
Okay.
parking brake.
Okay.
Okay.